When two people buy a home together, it's more common than you think that one party will contribute more financially than the other person. I'm not talking about mortgage payments here, I'm talking about the actual purchase, deposits, legal fees, stamp duty and so on. And this could be for many reasons. Age is one, and simply having had more time to save up. Or if one of you has owned a house before and has got some equity to put in. Sometimes a set of parents may contribute a chunk of the deposit. Now this is where a deed of trust or trust deed may come in handy. But what is a trust deed and how do you get one? So I'm going to be honest with you, this is not the nicest of topics to have to tackle, because if you're buying a house together, then the assumption is that your relationship is going well enough for you to want to buy together and make that commitment. And not that I want to be the one who pours cold water on things, but we all know that relationships can come to an end. And believe me, sorting out things like finances is much harder if you've not got things tied up from the outset. And that's before emotions come involved. You see, jumping ahead to when you sell the house, the legal position is no matter how much one party puts into the purchase compared to the other, if that property is in joint names, then both parties are entitled to an equal share of the proceeds. Even if one party puts in all the deposit and pays all the legal fees, the proceeds still have to be split 50-50 on sale. There are sound legal arguments for this actually, such as the commitment ethic and the fact that both parties could very well contribute equally to the running of the house, whether that be financially or in terms of physically running the home for the family, for instance. Now it could be, of course, that your separation is amicable and both parties respect the arrangement that you made when you went into this. But the risk is that opinions will differ, and if you want your money back, then getting it is going to be very difficult, because that's not how the law treats a joint asset. That is, unless you have a deed of trust in place. Now before I explain it, the usual caveat. I'm not a lawyer and this is not legal advice, but you already know that. A deed of trust is relatively simple. It's a legal document that sets out how monies will be divided once a property is sold. Both parties sign it, and in doing so both parties are deemed to agree with it. Now if they stay together until death do us part, then the trust deed never needs to be referred to ever again. However, if you're selling because you can no longer stand the sight of each other, then the theory at least is that all you need to do is present that document to a solicitor that's handling your sale. That's not to say that it can't be challenged. In theory, it can. But if you can't come to an amicable agreement over how the funds are to be split, then you may need to visit court and let them sort it out. However, unless there's a really compelling argument, a court's view is generally not to rock the boat, and they tend to simply enforce the agreement that's already within the contract. So if there's a significant imbalance as to what's going in, then in my view, it's absolutely worth having one, especially for what they cost. I appreciate this may not be the easiest conversation to have with your partner because you trust them and you wouldn't be buying together otherwise. But if things do break down, then trust is usually the first thing to go out of the window. Put it this way, I'm glad I have mine. Next time on How to Buy a House. Viewings, what to expect, how to prepare, and how to make the best impression to the agent and the vendor. I'm Neil Robinson, thank you for watching.